Hello, guys. Welcome back to my podcast. My name is Juan Cantu.
My name is Renato Ruiz.
My name is George Morales.
And my name is Carlos Rodriguez.
Yo me llamo Boño Garza.
And today we're going to be talking about my original construct. And my first question for you guys is, do you guys need to read every word in a passage to understand it?
I would say mostly no. For sure, mostly no.
Oye, papito, ¿de qué está hablando? I think you do. I think you do because if you don't, you're not gonna understand what the passage is like mainly about. There's no way to highlight before reading what is important and what is not. Like, you're not gonna know what to read if you wanna.
I don't think it's that you have to read everything, because sometimes authors they just babble and write random stuff that is not really important or necessary to the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just to kind of fill the space up.
Did you say that you do or don't?
You don't. You don't have to read it.
You don't need to.
Okay.
I think that when I think about that, I remember how it feels like when you watch one movie and you're gonna watch it again. You just want to skip the boring parts. I don't know if you've ever felt that. Like you're watching the boring scene and you want to skip it. I guess that's kind of how it feels when reading.
Exactly,
You're reading something boring, and you just want to get over that boring part. So you start skimming through the.
Yeah, but how are you gonna know when to stop, my guy?
Okay, so, well, for those of you guys that said no, how do you guys deal with this? Like, do you guys skip, or what tactics do you guys use?
I personally just started looking at the text and just kind of read really, really, really fast to a point where I'm not really reading, but
Every
just
word,
but I'm just scanning it.
Okay.
And then when I see kind of a transition word that kind of stands out, that's where I kind of slow down and start paying attention to what I'm reading.
What about you?
Yeah, I guess when I'm in a hurry or it's something that I don't feel like reading, I start just reading random words. And not random, but I guess just a few words and skip a few others, and try to make up what the story is about, try to understand what it's about. And most of the time, it's not like I skip half of the reading, of course, but I'm not going to read every word, so I end up understanding the story. I don't know if you want to know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think you need to just take it like a man and just read what you got to read. If you're being forced to read it, I say read it all and understand it. If what you're worried about is being bored, well then, I'm sorry, you just have to read it, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're reading for pleasure, well then don't read it.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Don't read it at all.
Get you.
Well, the reason I ask you guys this is because one of my sources from the North Carolina Learning Center at Chapel Hill, well, they talk about one of the tactics, which is skimming. Skimming is basically reading the first sentence and then of your introduction, and then skipping a few and then going to your body paragraph and reading a few sentences to understand what the article or passage is trying to say. And well, I just want to know what tactics you guys used.
I don't know. I really like skimming too, because as I said, I don't really think it's super important to read the whole thing. I don't think every word is important in a story, unless it's really short. I mean, if it doesn't take that long to read, then yeah, I'll read the whole thing. But skimming is a good strategy to accomplish what I'm trying to say.
I think.
But I don't know what you guys think.
I think skimming is good if you're just trying to get it over with, but not if you're trying to understand what it's about, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
I can give you an example, actually. Before I got on my plane to come to this podcast, I was reading this text for my history class.
Text?
A book.
Oh.
Okay.
40 pages long, dude. 40 pages long.
my
That chapter.
Nah.
You honestly think I'm stupid, or you think I'm going to read through all of that?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I skim.
Yeah.
I skim through it. But see, the thing is that in those types of
But did
textbooks,
you understand it, though?
I'm going to that. There's these words are kind of bolded. So when I see those types of words, I slow down
Isn't
and I
that
read
just
them.
vocab?
And then after that, the teachers assigned us a quiz, and I took it. And guess what I got?
100.
10 out of 10, B.
Oh. Yeah.
Then I got on that plane and I came to this podcast like a man.
Yeah, it's just, I don't think everything is important. I think like for example, it would be a little different depending on whether you're reading for yourself or whether you're reading for an assignment. But because if you have an assignment based on that whatever you're reading, then you gotta make sure you understand whatever you're being asked about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You gotta make sure you pay attention on that part. Like if you're being asked for the audience, you gotta find the audience. If you're being asked on the main point, you gotta find the main point.
Yeah, like on those end of course exams or whatever, where you're made, like you're supposed to write something based on something that they give you.
Yeah.
Like, and they already know what the passage is about, so you can't BS your way out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So like you're forced to just finish reading everything, and then answer questions based on that. So I think unless you read the questions first and you look for like the answers in the text.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah. That's. I guess that could be a type of
Like
skimming.
yeah.
You don't read the whole thing and look for whatever you're being asked. You
Yeah.
kind of look for whatever could be the
Like the answer.
yeah the answer.
So I guess it depends on the type of reader.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. So, well, my next question is, well, you guys like probably don't know, but one of my one of my sources talks about like how there's two people involved in like when you read a passage. Well, the first one being the writer, and the second one being the reader. And Dr. Keith Lenz talks about how like if the writer can't explain his message to the reader won't be able to decode it. Have you guys like had any experiences on like not being able to like understand what the writer is trying to say in a passage?
Yeah, but I guess that's more for advanced English, like not old English, but like
A different type of
like
English?
higher level English.
Oh, okay.
Like where there's a lot of metaphors and like it's
That is old English.
symbolism.
I've
I
had
guess,
I
okay.
have a lot of those experiences because I'm a primarily Spanish speaking person, and I know I've had trouble with like reading stories in the past. There might have been some words that I don't understand, but so I guess what that makes you think is that even though I don't understand every single word, I still did good on my assignments, which is like if I had just skipped those words that I don't understand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like imagine I just didn't read them or just didn't understand them, it would be the same thing for me, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So what's your final construct?
Well, my final construct was like that. Basically, what our teachers told us, like in our early life, to read every word in a passage. Well, as soon as I did some research on this, I learned that you don't have to read like every word in a passage. You can use like other tactics such as skimming or like reading phrase by phrase. Well, that's it for this podcast. Thank you guys for coming.
having us.
Thank you
Thanks
for
having
having
us.
And thank you for flying all the way from North
Yeah, no
Carolina
problem, man.
and coming to my podcast. Thank you.
North Carolina.